I'm gonna get myself situated a little bit better. If I remember last time, we decided that we defeated the alchemist and we defeated the Kraken thing. I forget what it was actually called. We'd have to look it up when we actually get into the game. But we defeated those two, and now we've unlocked essentially the entirety of the new area. Bestiary, Cyclops, that's what it is. There. I believe I used all the pearls, very pearls that I had to start up. I was gonna get this entire inner spiral, grab this, and work my way up here so I can get class 5. It's probably not gonna happen for a while because this literally takes 5 points to do it. But there's not much I can spend my souls on anyway while I'm here, so I believe yeah, I did not buy the full set of that. I could quickly run and grab it, but I don't think I want to spend my time on that. They are all dead. As I mentioned last time, got down there as a boss. Thankfully, I can use this path now, since there's no boss here anymore, to get back over here. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear out this entire area after I defeat the next boss. I came to that conclusion because there actually is some stuff that I have to come back here with. I have to come back here after defeating the boss to get. I think their capes are freaking out. Oh, whoops. Steven's skin. Heal. There we go. I look over the chat for like 1 second and all hell goes loose. Or however that saying goes. I'm mostly walking back over here to restate the point from the previous screen that we're trying to make. So, this area over here, the Hall of Registry. As you could tell, the canopies do a lot of damage. Down there is the look. This elevator shaft is essentially the center of the map. And you can go from the very top of the level to nearly the very bottom of the level. Not the actual bottom of the level, because that itself is a whole level. So it's like, so it gets a little bit complicated. I don't know if I'm able to pull up the map with the setup that I have, but it's quite complicated. much like any Metroidvania game, the map is quite complicated when you look at it as a whole. But when you're going through it initially, it doesn't seem like it. Dang it. Died. That's what I get for not healing after I get pounced by those guys. But yeah, it's not a very good idea to go that way. Even though I could grind a lot of souls that way, I'm probably not going to go that way again. There was the... Huh, that's weird. Thanks for hosting, Flash. I gotta thank you earlier, but... There we go. That's a little bit better. Okay, I got all my stuff back. And here we come to one of the first non-beginning sanctuaries in the game that require to actually use your icon on it, because they front load the very beginning of the game with a bunch with the other covenants, almost like they wanted you to pick the Iron Mountain guys, just so you could have one of each of the three at the beginning of the game. Whoops. Supposed to whip it there. Huh. Make offering. I don't think I'm gonna put a guide here. Instead, I'm gonna these two guys here, and then just be done with that. So there's a whole area over here, and there's a whole area back over here. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do this area first, and then I'm gonna come back to that. Mostly because this is where the boss is, and mostly some of the times you'll have probably should have leveled up. I want to show this off. So the funny thing about this next boss that's coming up is that by doing the previous boss, I've just circumvented it. So, here, let me get past all these guys. That's the boss. You could tell me because the candelabra, I believe, is right there, which means that it's a boss fight. And I could just walk to that boss fight right now and then encounter him. But here's the thing. This is what the green key opens from the previous boss. And I could just walk all the way back up here, circumvent it from behind, use this to rest to get all my stuff back, and that's the boss door down there. I've just bypassed the boss because I didn't want to do that boss. Making it so that I could have done one or the other. Now let's talk to this guy who is on the ceiling. You like talking in riddles, don't you? Do not extend your hand. There is great power in a brand. White searing hot and iron forged hot. Ow! Okay. This is probably one of the most important items you get early on in the game. Wear this brand to gain the ability to use Eminent Obelisks. And his set. Okay. These are Eminent Obelisks. I am now on the ceiling. That's a really cool ability. It's a really cool ability that really changes the way that the game goes, and it makes this game go from a Castlevania-inspired Dark Souls game to a Metroidvania-style game that's inspired by Dark Souls. Oh, also there's a secret pass up here, which, if I could actually jump properly, be able to get to it. This shield is going to come in handy later. Here, let me show you. At first it doesn't seem really good, and then you realize that it has 100 holy and arcane defense. Also negative lightning defense, which is amazing. Like, not even the metal shields have that little lightning defense. So, I can get up there. Which means I'm going to have to come back here later. And normally I would go like boss, but instead I want to show this off. Here's the guy that we've been buying the locks of hair, and this is the beginning of the game. It's so cool that, like, this game is very interconnected with that. Let me... Okay, so I think... Yeah, I'll just buy the other piece of this armor set for later. I honestly don't think I will ever use these sets, because I get a better one later, but I just want to have it on hand, just in case. What's... Oh, cool. Thanks for doing that, Flash. Let's see. Okay, so... Oh gosh, I almost